Somewhere back in time, someone decided to use the Roman numbers. Okay, so that remember the I in Roman numbering is 1, right? And then we have the 2, and notice something about the 2. It's using lowercase letters. I'm going to get to the Y in a second. This is also in lowercase letters, right? 3 is the 3 chord there. The 4 chord. Okay, in this video we're going to be understanding the Roman numerals in music, because I'm sure you've seen that and you wondered what the heck is that about. So let's try to tie this all together, starting with the piano keys, right? So when you see the piano keys, here's an octave of keys, here's 8 keys, and we, in the music color method, we color those keys starting with the rainbow from right to left, and it should look like this. You get the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, gray, and then we're repeating at the red again for the C. Now, if we were to look at those letter names, C is red, so let me show you what that looks like over here. This is, so C is there, right? And then we got D, and then we got E and F, G, A, B, C again, right? So there's 8 notes, and that sequence is called a scale. In fact, we can number them 1 and 2 and so forth. So you can see that there's 8 notes. Now, the distance between these notes in the scale, so if you're going from the 1 to the 2, that's called a second, the distance of a second. So if you're going from C to D, that's a second. C to an E, it's a third, right? C to an F is a fourth. C to a G is a fifth. C to A sixth. C to a B is a seventh. And C to a C is not called an eighth, it's called an octave. All right, remember oct, that prefix oct often is referred to things with 8 parts, octopus, right, octagon. So 8 notes is an octave. Now, we're using the regular numbers here, the Arabic numbers. Now let's see if we play 2 notes at the same time, right? So let's start with these, and we put C and E together, which sounds sort of like this, right? Now we got the D and the F. Those sound pretty nice. These are called thirds. Why is it a third? Because we skipped a note in between, right? And here's the third, right? And then I'm not going to go to the octave to repeat. But then if we build another third on top, look what happens. It's a full 3-note chord, right? Right? So those, they all sound very nice because they're built on thirds. Thirds are the building blocks of chords. So you can see a chord is really a stack of thirds. Now, it's getting complicated with all these numbers, right? Because we originally numbered the scale with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, right? But if you're talking, that's good for labeling single notes. But for chords, we need a different way of numbering. So somewhere back in time, someone decided to use the Roman numbers. Okay, so that, remember the I in Roman numbering is 1, right? And then we have the 2. And notice something about the 2. It's using lowercase letters. I'm going to get to the Y in a second. This is also in lowercase letters, right? 3 is the 3 chord there. The 4 chord has capital again. And then the 5 chord has capital again. 6 chord back to the lowercase. Now the 7 chord has something a little bit strange added. There's a little circle there. Now, I'm going to explain all these things in a second. Now, the 1 chord is a major chord. Okay, it sounds happy, right? The sun came out, it's all happy, right? Now, if we go to the 2 chord, it's kind of sad sounding, right? It's because the middle note, if I made it an F sharp, that sounds happy, right? But now it sounds sad. So that's the minor. We get the minor versus major is what's happening. We have the major chords with the capital Roman numbering, and the lower case is for the minor. Now what about that weird one with the circle? It has lowercase, so it's kind of minor, right? I'm playing those 3 notes at the same time, broken apart. That's called a diminished chord because I don't want to get too complicated here, but there's basically 2 minor thirds in this chord. That's a minor third, that's a minor third. Most of these other chords have a combination of minor thirds and major thirds. The 1 chord has there's a major chord on the bottom, a major third on the bottom of the C and the E, but the E and G on top, that's a minor third, right? Now why do we need these Roman numbers? Why can't we just say, oh, it's a C chord, right? Thinking in numbers allows us to see the greater patterns no matter what scale or key you're in, right? So this works great with the C scale right here, right? Now what happens if we like said, okay, we don't want to be in this key, we don't want to call C number 1 now, we want to call G the 1 chord. So look at this example here. This is G as the here's a G scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. You need to make an F sharp so it sounds right? Now let's fill in all those other notes. These are all the chords in the key of G, right? And you can see if we were counting these chords, we'd say G is a 1 chord, A, C, E is a minor chord, B, D, F sharp is a minor 3rd chord. Then we get the 4 as the major, and then the D is with the F sharp in there. That's a major 5 chord, and then the 6th chord is the E chord, and then we get that strange diminished chord again, right? Oh, I forgot the little circle there, but here's the thing. If you were playing a 1-4-5 pattern, seeing a G, C, that sounds great, right? But say, oh, I can't sing that high. Let's go back to the I got to build this all up again. So if we go back to the C scale and we want to change this key to the key of C, and now that's the numbering of the scale, the lower part, right? The lowest box. But here's the chords. Now if I do a 1-4-5 in the key of C, it's going to sound different. It's going to be, right? And that's a common pattern. So throughout book 5, we're talking about all these common patterns of chords, but knowing the Roman numbering allows you to switch quickly between keys and also see the structure almost like you had X-ray vision for music, right? Okay, I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.